All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of the Regular Guy DFS Show. I am David. Welcome to the dungeon. And another episode for today's Pick 6. 7 games, I think, on our slate today. So let's see if we can keep the momentum going. I hope you guys caught yesterday's Pick 6. We had a core plays of Russell Westbrook, LeVert, Sabonis, and Draymond, and all of them had really good games. So hopefully you were able to take advantage of yesterday's Pick 6, and let's get into another one today. Before we do, if you don't mind, as always, I would really appreciate it if you'd take the time to hit that like button, take the time to hit the subscribe button, and take the time to hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we do put out a new video, and if we go live, if we decide to go live spontaneously maybe, any questions we can answer on a slate. Also, give me a follow on Twitter, at SandoDFS, and our information is down there in the little box down there. I like to put out some updated stuff throughout the afternoon. If injuries happen, if guys get ruled out for no reason, maybe some updates to the Pick 6 on a daily basis. So, having said all that, I appreciate you guys joining me, and let's get into another Pick 6 for today. Usually I put these videos out a little bit later. I try to wait until that 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central injury update that comes from the NBA, but I looked at it today, and I don't really think there's much left that's going to affect my core plays for today's slate. The only thing is if Fred VanVleet would get ruled out, we could certainly look at a couple of guys like Kyle Lowry in particular, maybe Siakam. They both had huge games in the last slate. I still don't think I'm going to go there unless an additional Raptor would get ruled out. OG is also out. So if you're trying to jam a bunch of studs in today, you could maybe go to a guy like Stanley Johnson, but I think he played big minutes last time, and he just really isn't that productive of a player, but he's probably min salary. I don't love the matchup with Toronto against the Clippers, so I don't think I'm probably going to pivot to any of those guys, but again, stuff can change throughout the afternoon. They could decide to just sit Kawhi and Paul George for absolutely no reason. And then maybe some of the Toronto guys become, a little bit more appealing if VanVleet would be out or somebody additional. But anyway, we're going to leave them out of the Pick 6 for today. So let's go ahead and get into who we are playing. And much like Russell Westbrook yesterday and every slate before, I think the next closest thing, certainly on this slate that we have to a free square, we're just going to go ahead and plug in Giannis Antetokounmpo. These two teams, Brooklyn and Milwaukee, just played on Sunday. They weren't part of any slate, the main slate. It was a standalone showdown game on DraftKings. And, Giannis went off for I don't remember, 70-some, I think. Let's just peek real quick. Yeah, 74 fantasy points. So, again, he's as close to a free square as you can get. I don't have to spend very much time explaining to you why Giannis needs to probably be in your lineup tonight. You could certainly look to fade him with other guys, but he's a lot like Westbrook. I mean, he's going to get you 50, probably 55 or 60 guaranteed. And what if he does pop off for 75 or 80 points like Luka Doncic did the other night, and then you don't have him? You're just that far behind. So, he's chalk that we have to eat as far as I'm concerned on a slate like this. So I'm just going to take the free square and move on. No reason he won't have another big game against Brooklyn like he did 2 days ago. And along those same lines, the other guy in that game who had a huge game, I don't see any reason not to just go right back to him. And I hate that he's not small forward anymore. They changed it. He's now only power forward, but I am, of course, talking about Kevin Durant at 9,300. I think he just scored 40-some points in that game against Milwaukee. I don't see any reason to pivot off of him. So if you want to look somewhere different for another forward play, I get it, but I'm just going to go ahead and play Durant. He's been incredibly productive He's back to getting the minutes that he's gotten in a normal game on a normal basis. So my two stud plays today are just going to be guys that I feel like are going to go out and produce no matter what. Their floors are incredibly high. So Giannis and Kevin Durant, certainly part of today's pick six. Okay, so 7-game slate. Try to get a little different. It's going to be a little tougher to do today. But I think there's a guy here that is incredibly underpriced, first of all. We're going to go to point guard. And I think some people are going to be scared of him a little bit just because we're not exactly sure what the minutes are going to be. But at 7,100, if you remember back before he got hurt, I mean, LaMelo Ball was well over 8K and getting close to 9K on DraftKings. If I'm still getting him at 7,100 with the injuries that Charlotte has, I think I'm going to get – he got 28 and 30 minutes his last two games, 35 and 36 fantasy points. That's fine. At his salary of 7,100, that's great. I think his usage is going to go up even more today. I wouldn't be surprised if we get close to 35 minutes from him because if you look at Charlotte, we've got a lot of injuries that came out. And that's why I'm going to target Charlotte a little bit today. We already knew that obviously Hayward was out, but Graham is out and Cody Martin is also out. Then I get word here just a little bit ago, as I'm sure most of you did too, there's going to be no P.J. Washington and there's going to be no Miles Bridges. So I think LaMelo's just going to have to play more minutes. I think he's going to get more usage with those guys off the floor. He's going to have more opportunities to score fantasy points. And at 7,100, even if he's only going to play between 30 and 35 minutes, LaMelo has the potential, the upside to go off for 50 or 55 fantasy points in those 30 minutes. He's kind of eased his way back in. But again, if I'm going to get those kind of minutes at 7,100 with all the other guys that Charlotte is missing, I'm willing to take that chance. So I'm going to play LaMelo Ball tonight with all those different guys that are out for Charlotte. And along those same lines, when we get word that Bridges and P.J. Washington are both going to be out tonight, then I pivot immediately to a guy that's min salary. Hopefully he'll get enough minutes, but I think we can go ahead and put Biyombo in as one of our value plays. He's been getting more minutes than Cody Zeller. I assume he starts tonight. Now, Charlotte could go small ball against Detroit, but what I'm betting on, what I'm hoping for is if we go back to the last start against Detroit, I don't remember what the situation was there, if P.J. Washington was out in that game or not. But he got 28 minutes, fantasy point per minute, scored almost 30 fantasy points. Anytime he's gotten the minutes, he's been relatively productive. I think LaMelo being back, distributing the basketball will help any of the guys down low. So I don't think Cody Zeller's going to start. Now, if Cody Zeller would start, then obviously we might think about changing this. But I think Bismack Biyombo should get the start. I assume he's going to play between 28 and 34 minutes. And at minimum salary, we don't really need that much for him to pay off that price point. So another guy that we're going to put in the pick six today is a guy that if you guys have been following, I've been putting in my pick six a few times in the past, ever since De'Aaron Fox went down. And frankly, it hasn't worked out that great because he hasn't gotten as many minutes as I thought he would. Tyrese Halliburton ended up getting a lot of those minutes. But now that Tyrese Halliburton is out, I don't think they have much of a choice. And so let's see if I can find him without typing him in. There he is. I think DeLon Wright at 5,100, he should get big minutes tonight. Sacramento, again, shorthanded at the guard position. He should start, play well over 30, probably 35, 38 minutes. A great matchup against Oklahoma City. And at that price point, I would expect him to pay that off very easily. I don't know how popular, how well-owned he's going to be tonight. He could be fairly chalky with Halliburton out, but DeLon Wright certainly has the ability to put up a pretty big score. And at 5,100, we don't need all that much for him to certainly make value. And then the last guy we're going to put in the pick six is a guy so frustrating. So frustrating last slate. I was all ready to play this guy. In fact, I think, I'll have to go back and watch the video, but I think he was in our pick six in the early look. Marvin Bagley. I had him all ready to go, and then we get, because Harrison Barnes was going to be out, and so we get word then, not that long before, because like Barnes is doubtful today, Halliburton out, Fox out, so Marvin Bagley is a great play. He was 45 or 4,600 last slate, even at $5,000. He's a great play. We get word that, well, he's going to be on a minutes limit. He's going to continue his minutes limit. Okay. So you look at the game log, and when you come back, 21, 16, 20. So I'm figuring, okay, 20 minutes. I can't roster him if he's only going to play 20 minutes. He comes out and plays 34 minutes, scores 40 DK points. I'm not falling for it again today. Barnes will be more than likely out. Like I said, he's doubtful. And so if Marvin Bagley's going to get 30 to 30, even 30 minutes, but if he's going to get upwards of 35 minutes, which I don't see any reason why he wouldn't, regardless if they tell you his minutes limit is going to continue, I'm playing him. Like you said, like we saw last game, 40 DK points in 35 minutes. So, they're not fooling me again on Marvin Bagley, and we're just going to go ahead and plug him in to today's pick six. So that's today's pick six, guys. LaMelo, DeLon Wright, Giannis, Bismack Biyombo. Again, if they would start Cody Zeller. Another thing to keep in mind, keep a lookout for is Steven Adams. I don't expect he's going to play tonight. If you don't want to go min salary at center and you want to try and find value somewhere else, Hernan Gomez would be another fine play tonight. I think he'll be pretty popular. But he certainly, if you want to pay up a little more for center and try and find some value somewhere else, I get that. But I'm comfortable with Biyombo getting close to 30 minutes tonight. And then Durant and Marvin Bagley. So that's today's pick six, guys. Again, before you get out of here, please, if you don't mind, helps me out a bunch if you'll hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, leave a comment if you like. We love constructive criticism here. Any thoughts that you have, anything that you might do different, heck, just leave a comment down there. And follow me on Twitter at SandoDFS for updates throughout today. So good luck to all of us tonight, as always. Thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another Pick Six.